Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is F1 2018, and it's the Manager Challenge mode. And I've reached the second year in the Gaming Decathlon competition. And with that means this is week number 1 in the competition. Last week was week 55, rounding out the first year. Next up, we've got a real big challenge. But before we get to that, let's look at the new developments that have been completed. So we have a new front downforce upgrade with under nose turning vanes. Looks like we are dry for the race. At least the qualifying will be. And the race, this is that real challenge. So if you've watched any of my other episodes involving the new racing wheel, the Thrustmaster T150 that I've picked up, so this would make 6 episodes total with the racing wheel. 2 for Dirt Rally. I'm starting to get a pretty good handle on things, and it's going relatively well. I'm just about where I was now with the gamepad. However, F1 2018's been a bit more of a challenge. This is my 4th overall episode with the wheel in F1. 2 for career mode, 2 for the manager challenge mode. Last week, both episodes were dedicated to practice sessions, essentially. Just one-off races. And then my career mode, I had my first episode with that. And by the end of the race, I was starting to get a handle on things, but I still struggled. And here's where I really have struggled with the wheel so far. From the one-off races to last race with the career mode, which was Spain, it's the crests, where you go over a little bit of a rise and then you start to dip after. So you have some sort of hill crest. That's where I've struggled the most, and I've spun out repeatedly in those scenarios. And on the entire F1 calendar, the biggest, most troublesome, most damaging crest that you face it's fortunately behind me in Spa. We're going to head on to Monza, where I've got some tight chicanes. And chicanes have been kind of the second one that have given me trouble. So luckily Spa is behind me now. And we're going to move on.
Welcome once again, then,
and we're going to get to things. So here we are in Italy, in Monza.
One of the most famous corners here at Monza is the Variante del Rettifiglio. The first corner chicane. It's been the scene of so many first lap incidents over the years, and I think the teams will be holding their breath, hoping that they make it through that corner cleanly at the start today.
This is such a tricky corner to find the right braking point for. You approach it around 220 miles per hour down the main straight, then scrub off 170 miles per hour in just over 100 meters. It's very easy, therefore, to overshoot and end up driving through the escape road.
Alright, so while I'm getting the hang of the wheel, I'm still lacking consistency, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay. With any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement, so give them a try.
Alright, so there are 5 points in qualifying pace. There's a top speed one, which I'm lacking power since I haven't done any upgrades there yet. Full lap using minimum fuel. So fuel management comes with 5 points. But that's using minimal fuel. 2 different car setups.
We have a number of programs to run during these practice sessions. You can check the details in the car monitor. We'll get good data for both the race and factory teams, so they're well worth running.
So we're actually lacking too many options where we're going to really pick up very many points. Let's go ahead and see. Power unit is definitely a bit worn here. Our MGUH is at 61%. We switch to a third one now. We've got a lot of season left to go. It's going to drop us by 10% in the overall, in the average wear department. I think we're going to stick it out for one more race, especially when I have kind of low expectations going into this race weekend, as this is my first real like one-off, give it a go, 3 laps. I mean, I had to use every minute of my career mode session, so this is going to be a challenge.
Okay,
Let's
here's
go
something
and
to
back into
remember
the
about this
car
circuit.
setup.
Top
Do I
speed is
have one?
absolutely vital here. There are so many long straights that we want to run as low a downforce setup as
Yes.
we can get away with. Nailing your braking points and getting out of the traction zones properly are going to be key.
Okay, so we'll use my career mode setup there, as obviously in this mode I do not have time to play around with that and get set on that, because all you get is 3 laps. Now the big question is which programs to go for. I think I'm going to go for track acclimatization. You can go a little bit slower, get a little used to things. The chicane is what worries me, because you come in with so much speed and then you hit that chicane and you really have to scrub off speed fast. And if you're just a hair late, you're not going to scrub off enough speed, and then you're late into the chicane and it ruins the whole chicane, and that's quite a few points. Now the straightaways, I'll hit those, so I suppose we should be in a decent enough position to get green. Alright, so on the racing wheel, with no practice, no warm-up on the track, expecting this to be very, very challenging, I might come out of this weekend with very few points. Purple so far. But here's the toughest of the chicanes right here. This is the one. Don't want to be too late into. And on this wheel, oh man, that was difficult. Okay. That's going to have to be a hand-over-hand chicane next time out. Oh, come on. Well. We saved the car, but we've already got a couple reds. Oh, and I missed that one too. Okay, well, this is going to be a nothing lap. And that DRS kind of comes out of nowhere too. Oh!
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
Well. I was already failing that lap, but crashing out makes things a lot worse when the team gets pretty upset with the damage repairs that they're going to have to go through. So that was a fantastic first lap, or not.
An interesting practice session there then. Let's remind ourselves.
Leclerc,
of the top
13th
three,
fastest.
Who are Vettel, Ricciardo and Valtteri Bottas. That's it for...
I, of course, was slowest. I didn't even get a lap. I didn't even not crash twice on the lap. I already hit the wall once. Boy, oh boy. Tight chicanes where this wheel, as small as it is it's hard to do hand over hand. You really need to have enough range left and right, and here I don't really have that. I got 5 points in team objectives. Woo! How bad is it going to be? That hurts. That hurts.
That was a nasty incident.
Yes.
Glad to see you're no worse for wear. The car
I am.
took a beating, but I think we can get it fixed up for the next session.
Thanks for your concern there, Carl. FP2. Second lap coming up, and I'm failing miserably on all aspects so far. I'm not going to get a representative time anywhere right now, so I think I'm going to try acclimatization again. It is raining. I thought that sounded like rain. Oh joy. So now we've got to try to do it in the rain too. Oh man.
When you get a chance, make sure to run some of our practice programs. They don't all need to be done in one
Three's
session,
gonna be
but there's
dry.
valuable data there
We're
to
going
help
on
race
to 3.
strategy and car development.
We're going to skip to 3, which is already a risk because if I crash, I only get
Quick look at the classification at the
one
end
lap
of the
here.
session then. Here
Which
are
really
your top
doesn't help me
3.
out for the next race weekend.
Verstappen and
I couldn't even keep it on track in the dry. I'm definitely not going to keep it on track in the rain. So, 27 points. It's something. Got 700. Might look into an upgrade here before we go. Let's do let's do the practice session. Get whatever points we get, and then we'll look into that before we go into qualifying. Which at this point, there's very little hope of me being above 20th, as I wasn't even close to getting a lap done. I mean, we were at least entering Sector 3 before I crashed, but that was already technically my second crash. Okay, FP3, and we are still trying to do track acclimatization. Good luck to us in this episode. This could be a job-ending situation here. Just when I was getting comfortable, too. So we're already off the racing line. But I didn't crash. There's that, right? Okay, we want to brake a little early. Come on, get back over. Yes. A little slow, but we made it. Got a little swirly. Okay, again, slow, but made it clean through. Too slow. I was gonna miss the apex, so I slowed down more. Alright. Much better lap so far. Much better lap. Okay. Hey. We have already made green. We have already made green. That is fan-frickin-tastic. Woo! Woo! Don't crash! Don't crash! We made green!
The front wing has taken some minor damage. Good work, you seem to have a solid handle on
We
the
got
line.
green.
Let's
We
try
got
and
nowhere near
perfect each
purple,
turn.
but we made
Remember that
green. Okay. I still crashed. But I didn't crash out. And we got 50
time
points.
repairing the damage to the car.
I'm happy with that. I am definitely happy with that. Now, ERS is probably my best chance at additional points. You know, I could pick up 90 points with a purple. I don't expect to get there. I don't expect to pick up 40
Our
points.
best lap so far is
green.
a 1 minute 31.2.
But I could potentially get points. And it's definitely my best chance at that. There we go. So here has management. Can I get a clean lap without a crash? Here we go. Last chance for points here before qualifying. Now I was extra cautious in the chicanes, and that worked out for me. Flat out on the straights. That's Monza. So, can we get her done? Well, there you go. You know what? I'm gonna... oh, that's not what I meant to do. I'm still getting used to the buttons on here. I crashed, so we'll keep that. What I don't want is... I didn't want the camera view change. What did I do here? Okay, well, I got my camera back. I want the practice here with the wheel, with the track. I still have qualifying to come, and see, that's not going to do it. Got on it on that curb a little bit. Nearly sent that one around again. Again! Boy, this setup could have something to do with it. Pushing too much for pace here. Not enough control. And I've lost another 2 seconds since I got up to speed. And I can't afford 2 seconds lost like that in the lap.
Your pace is too slow. Make sure to adjust.
Yes, definitely pace too slow. Got that. Spun out in turn 2. And then still lost 2 seconds later on when I nearly spun out again. Well, I got 65 points. It's actually not the worst haul that I've had in a race weekend, so there's that going for me.
Okay,
But that's 3 flying laps. So on to qualifying. Leclerc, 11th fastest. It'd be beautiful if he could start picking up some points for the team.
Max Verstappen. Thank you for joining us.
Great work out there today.
Really, Claire?
How do you think it went?
Thanks.
Will it be a problem for you if the weather doesn't clear up?
Ooh, how do I choose these? Whether it's but affects everyone on the grid, not just me.
You left a lot of paint on the
Yes,
walls
I
today.
did.
Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners?
No comment, because those are just going to have negative impacts.
Well, thanks anyway.
Sorry, Claire. Didn't give you what you wanted. By the way, this is only going to be a 2-race episode because I'm failing miserably enough and need enough practice still that I don't want to lose my job just yet. So I'll take what little points I can get. There you go. 121. That's 826 now. Reputation's still dropping though. Okay, yes, we have qualifying, but before we get there...
I've been in touch with some contacts at Williams, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team.
Chassis is poor, but aero,
powertrain
are decent enough.
Let's see what kind of offer they can put on the table.
Nothing. Okay, nothing in development right now. We are comfortably ahead of Williams at the moment, but it's not going to last. Wait, how... Let's see. Alright, we're about level on that. Now I've made one department upgrade. I desperately need to get some of those for the longevity of this playthrough. I've been so worried about getting fired here in the first 2 seasons that I desperately try to make upgrades with these limited points, but the moment they go to do a reset, I will be so screwed that I need those department upgrades to make things cheaper, to not have to repurchase every other upgrade as it fails. Okay, well, powertrain is... Or no, chassis is out for the moment. What do we have? We can afford an upgrade. We are the worst aero right now. That's rear downforce. What do we have here? Drag. We at least have one quality control upgrade. That's 600. That's 640. Okay. What's the chance of failure? 30%. That's still pretty high. What does this bring it down to? Brings it down by another 7.5%. Let's do it. It's scary, but I've got to bring things down a little bit. Because now I can't afford it. I can't pull it back up, but that'll save us in the long term. It will. Okay, so qualifying. Oh yes, that's still coming up, isn't it? Okay, it looks dry. That's certainly good. If we were in the wet, there's no way I'm finishing that lap, as I can't hardly get around this track right now. I haven't had, in 3 chances, I haven't gotten around without spinning out once.
The pit lane will be open shortly, which means it's nearly time for
Fourth time's the charm? Yeah, that's not the saying, is it?
Monza.
Alright, let's get to it, huh? One-shot qualifying. And away we go. The weather is looking nasty. It is dark gray. We are full speed. Wow, I nearly came to a stop there, but we're okay so far. Little off the pace, last place at the moment. But that was better, and we're out of last place at the moment. Oh! Saved it. And that's our lap. Oh, that's even worse. Well, at least you can start it up in the gravel here, huh? And at least I'm not going to crash. It's just last place. They don't consider anything different between 19th and 20th other than you're in 20th, regardless of whether you finish 30 seconds off the pace or whether you miss it by a millisecond. So in that sense, I just need to finish this lap and not crash. So Vettel gets pole. And we'll chalk this one up as a learning experience. I could not get through one lap here without crashing. That, not a good sign. Not
As we
good.
wind down from the excitement of
Leclerc's going to start in
here's a look
13th.
at your top three.
Vettel, Raikkonen, Hamilton.
Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton. Goodbye for now then, but
Bottas
we're
down
really
in
just getting
8th.
started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out.
Well, the beautiful thing about this is the whole point of the channel is mastering a game. And going from a gamepad to a racing wheel is definitely different, and it's a new challenge. It's actually supposed to make things easier, but there's that whole getting used to it part, and that's going to take time. So it's giving me the potential because there are certain races, and actually this was one of them, really. The final turn is one shining example, and there's another one on this track as well, where you're flat out on the gas, but you are not turning at maximum radius. You're turning a moderate amount. And that's really hard to balance on a gamepad and not on the racing wheel. And I'm doing great on those corners. So I've got those ones figured out already. And so that's actually an advantage with the racing wheel. It's everything else. It's how much gas to give, when to give, turning radius on the tightest corners. That is a challenge. So I picked up 88 points. Team rep. Level, okay. So did not go down. That's good. I didn't get fired this race weekend, and I earned some points. Now, I had a disaster of a time.
Obviously, I expected a better session, but
right,
these
let's
things
go ahead
happen
and simulate.
from time
Let's
to
get to
time.
the next race.
Try to make up for it in the race.
And now let's take a look at the
Leclerc 12th.
It's a good result for
Ricardo,
Sebastian
two-stopper.
Vettel, who moves further
Finishes
ahead
third.
at the top of the table. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver
We
of the
do
day?
get 18th.
Well, you put me in a bit of a tight spot today, but I think I'll go for Pierre Gasly. He kept a cool head under pressure and made the most of some difficult circumstances.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari extend their lead at the top of the championship. Meanwhile, good work from Force India this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time, though, goodbye.
So Gasly just misses out on points for Toro Rosso, and so does Charles Leclerc, who was just under a second behind Gasly in 12th, but a little ways off Alonso in 10th there. I once again finish a lap down, as I have, I think, every race all season long. I do finish ahead of Sirotkin and Van Dorn. Cannot overtake Stroll, though. And I lose out to, I think, Hartley. Is Hartley set as my... No, it's Sirotkin. Okay, nice. We will be ahead of Sirotkin in the rivalry. That's huge. We're losing out to Leclerc as always. I've never had a faster lap. I've never finished above him. Maybe once, but I don't think so. No. The AI is just unforgiving in that. Leclerc's a great driver, and I'm sure that has something to do with it, but the AI is garbage for us. That much has become quite clear over this challenge. Decent points in the race there, 175. That's one good thing about starting last and not finishing there. No championship points. Their team goal failed. That's going to hurt. Closer to that getting fired mark, though. We just reached full veteran status. I thought for sure that was going to affect the AI, and it clearly has not. So, very disappointing that that hasn't altered. Ooh, tough course for this wheel. Singapore. I'm good at Singapore, but I don't think I'm going to be good here, just because of how unforgiving it is. There's no room for error, and I've definitely been a bit on the error side. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Ooh, a clean race. Ooh, we can do that. Oh, we can definitely do that. That's 400 points. Yes, sir. Thank you. It looks like it's going to go to intermediates late in the race. Right, 489 is not enough. No upgrades on the way, so we are definitely going to need an upgrade this time out.
I've been in touch with some contacts at Williams, and they think your attitude and results might be a good fit for their team. We can talk to them at our next contract
Williams
review if
do
you're
make an
interested.
upgrade, so they are
Let's see
inching
what kind of offer
closer.
they can put on the table.
Toro Rosso further away. Definitely not in a good place. Alright, well, here we go. FP1, Singapore, 3 laps. And again, coming in without recent practice on the track.
Welcome to the Marina Bay circuit in the heart of Singapore. The rain is falling for the start of today's practice session,
And we
making
open
life
in the rain.
much more difficult for the teams than they may have anticipated.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go for it.
Now, I'd like to tell you it's bright and sunny and we're enjoying some
Screw
lovely
it,
warm
right?
weather for free practice.
What do I
today.
have to lose?
But unfortunately, Anthony
My
Davidson,
job.
someone's got the weather gods in an angry mood, and I think it's going to be a damp one.
Well, don't look at me, Crofty. I was hoping for a dry session like everyone else.
Okay, well, I'm going to try it out in the rain here, and before I do that, though, let's go to car setup, and no, I do not want to, we want, let's just go for some maximum downforce here. And we're on full wets. Okay. Let's light her up.
Taking the wet tyres in the current conditions?
Lap number 1. And very, very light on the gas. Oh my goodness! Well, that's not a good start. You know what? I have not started my lap. Hold on. I haven't even started my lap, so it's not a flying lap yet. We'll fix that. We'll get right back out there.
Car repairs have set us back a little.
Okay. Try that again. We have not started our flying lap yet, so... That's not good, though, that literally the very first corner that I have, I hit the wall. Here we go. That was very slow, though. They're extremely slow right now. That's not a good thing. Jeez. Yeah, obviously red through there as I struggled for grip mightily, and there again.
Be careful with the front wing. You've taken some light damage.
The weather's so bad that we're having radio breakup. Alright, hey, we just made a team objective. We're not doing too bad other than the one red quarter that we've had. 2 red quarters that we've had. 3 red quarters that we've had. Now it's not looking so good. Yeah. Okay, well, 4 straight reds. And no wing left. Yeah, I can't turn now. 5 straight reds. I can't turn! I can't turn. I can't turn. I have no downforce. Hey, there's one purple. Yeah, I can't turn. I can't. Ah! This isn't even practice. Hey, there's another purple. I'm nowhere near green though. I can't even head into the pits appropriately. I obviously failed that lap, so yeah, I decided the pits were a better place to go. In the end, that came down to the wing damage. I couldn't turn, but I had had 4 straight reds before that. So, good luck to me. Alright, I need to turn a lot sharper with the wheel. But at the same time, that's a good way to lose traction, so it's going to be interesting. I think I'm braking enough. I'm just not turning sharp enough. I'm not all the way.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
Which means I think I need an adjustment. Let's see if what I can do here. Let's go preferences, controls. Options, edit. There we go. Steering saturation. Okay, I had first tried this on 20. It increases the sensitivity, but it gets me closer. It says I can't turn the wheel more, but there's further to turn. And you get your hands off the wheel and go hand over hand, you lose your gearing, your upshift, downshift. So I've got to have it be like an F1 race wheel. I might even have to go further than that, but we'll try. And let's skip repair time. We're going to go on to lap number 2.
15 minutes till we see this heavy rain ease up into light rain.
Wait, did we just switch to intermediates? We just switched to intermediates. So the rain's letting up a little bit. There might be a little more grip out there. But here's the problem. They're going to expect more pace out of me now. And it's probably just barely gone to intermediates, which might not necessarily be a good thing for me. Alright, here we go. definitely hurting for grip. Like, I feel like we should still be on wets. Okay, it's a little better. It's a little better. Much better lap so far. Still in contention for actually completing one of our race programs. Ooh, almost went red there. That was close. Getting enough hand over hand, just barely, or not hand over hand, but keeping my hands on the wheel and going to full extension. Not gonna make that one, but we didn't crash. One red. I think we can get by on one red and still get green here. Alright, hey, we might make it. We might make it. Whoa. Whoa.
That's looking good. Let's try for purple.
Alright, we made it. We made it. Oh, what a relief. What a relief it is. Only one red. And it was the hardest corner in Singapore. The more than 90-degree corner coming over the first bridge onto the island, and then from there straight onto the second bridge to go back off the island.
2:3.5.
Woo! Okay, that felt good. That felt good. Now the hard part, his third attempt. Definitely going with the ERS. Okay. Can I do it? Can I do one where pace actually matters? Yeah, I don't know about that. But we only had the one bad turn. We made it through decently enough, so... I'm hearing a little rattle in the engine. Probably should have changed that out. We're going to have to change that out here before the end of the episode. Okay, get myself ready on the ERS here. Okay, here's a corner that I completely made a mess of. Somehow still got green. That's also the corner that Vettel made a total mess out of. Lost grip a little bit there. I don't know if you heard that as I slid, but we're up on time.
We're expecting the rain to get better in around 5. Light rain in 5 minutes' time.
Good so far on the lap. Not now, though. Braking just a little too late. Lost the whole wing.
Okay, back to the pits. You need a new front wing. Box snap.
And there's no point going around. I'm not going to make it around. It's just going to be a nightmare trying to get around without that wing. Well, we got 55 points.
Set us back a little.
55 points is all, huh?
There, then. Let's remind ourselves of
Ricardo
the
was
top
fastest
three,
on the
who
day.
are Ricardo, Vettel,
Leclerc,
and
17th.
Max Verstappen. That concludes an intro.
So a couple other things of note since adding the wheel. It's pulling me further back, so I know the mic sounds a little bit muffled as it's a greater distance to cover, and I don't have what do you call those? The arms. It's just on a stand. It's on the table, so nothing I can do about that right now. But I was also picking up some feedback in other areas. The wheel itself was bumping the table a little bit as it's mounted to my keyboard rack. The table itself's too high and would greatly affect the screen visibility for me. 110 points, 684 overall. Reputation going down again. Let's see if I can do an upgrade. We'll go with Aero. That's where I've done some investing, and yes, just barely. So we will go ahead and get this development going. 22% chance. We're down to less than a quarter. So I've been almost half have failed, even though it should have been only 33%. So hopefully I can get down to that 1 in 4 failing now. That would definitely save a lot of points. Sadly, though, that's only one department, and Williams is getting a little bit closer to us. So I have to stay ahead of Williams. That's kind of the big key for keeping my job, because if we finish 18th every race or 19th every race, I'm making that contract objective, and I can't push it lower than 19th. I can hold it on 19th, and that's going to help. And that could prolong the playthrough enough to start developing department efficiency and quality control enough so to survive a changeover, a department reset going into an upcoming season. Otherwise, we would be totally screwed. Okay, anyway, we have qualifying. And then we will be wrapping this episode up here in just a moment. I had one clean lap in 3. That's better than we had in Monza. So in 6 laps, well, 7 if you count the previous qualifying. 1 in 7.
So sit back and enjoy the action here at the Singapore Grand Prix.
Can I make it 50% for this weekend?
It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency.
We'll find out. We're going to go to track. We are on Hypersofts. It's dry. I haven't run in the dry. All of that was in the wet. Okay. I'm in good position so far. P12 at the moment. Down to P16 as I didn't get the greatest exit from there, but and don't have the greatest power either. P18. We're still in it. A little squirrely through there, but accidentally we're down to neutral for a second. Down to 20th, but I think I still have a chance to get above 20th here. Oh. Just brushed the wall. No damage. Oh, come Come on, opposite lock. Let's go. I think I'm too far down now. Woo! Just avoided pulling a Vettel. It's 20th.
It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard.
I got a clean lap. I got a clean lap. Clean-ish lap.
So
I did scrape the wall for a moment. Leclerc 13, Vettel, Ricardo, Raikkonen, Verstappen, Hamilton.
Vettel, Ricardo, and Kimi Raikkonen.
Bottas again, all the way down to 10.
So that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action.
1 second off the pace.
It's goodbye.
Sadly, I've got to call that a successful lap. The real sad part, though, is the Williams is so slow. They're almost a second between Van Dorn and Stroll. Sorokin and Stroll almost on the same time, and then I'm a second further back. So ultimately, I lost 2 seconds. I mean, compared to where I should be with Leclerc, of course, we are worse than the Toro Rosso, so I should have been maybe around Van Dorn's time. That's still close to 2 seconds that I was off the pace. But I didn't get to run in the dry at all. That was literally my first lap in the dry. Clearly was a little late on the braking in a couple corners. Didn't go to full lock on those couple corners. And that's where the time was lost. I gained time in a few places. Lost a little bit of time in a few places. And then lost about a second in a couple places. And that was what hurt me. Not bad, considering, if I had 3 practice laps in the dry, things might have been a little different. Car handled decently enough. That was okay. Just minor mistakes. But so much better than what I've done throughout this episode. So, it's growth, but it's still 20th. Let's see what happens with the race here real quick and see if we at least come out of it and get up into a safe spot, i.e. P18, to help save our job going forward. I definitely need more practice with the wheel off camera, which I really haven't had since last week, so that's certainly not helping me any. 88 points. Not losing reputation, so not crashing really, really helps there.
Bad luck in qualifying. That's not exactly ideal.
And
but there's no points for Saturday.
See what happens with the points on Sunday. Can Leclerc get in the points? No. In fact, he's not even in the top 14.
The drivers' table. Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points leader. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Lots of drivers impressed me today, Crofty, but I'd say the one who impressed me the most was Daniel Ricciardo.
On to the constructors then. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
Looks like Red Bull has overtaken Mercedes. Dominant performance by Daniel Ricciardo. He cuts the lead down to 62 points on Sebastian Vettel. And yes, that's Ricciardo in second. Hamilton is in third place. Like I said, I think Mercedes is now third best. You can see kind of the top drivers. Of course, on here, they still have Ricciardo over Verstappen, even though Verstappen overtook Ricciardo in real life this year. Clearly, the second half of the season was a much better driver than Ricciardo. And no, the reliability issue does not play a factor in that. To me, Verstappen was clearly faster than Ricciardo the second half of the season, with or without reliability. And Ricciardo wasn't bad. Verstappen, I think, was second fastest out of 20 drivers by the end of the season. Anyway, so Leclerc is still on 2 points. I'm still there. Let's see where I finished up, though. Oh, hold on. Let's check out the constructors. 69 points between Ferrari and Red Bull. So that's closing down a bit. Mercedes is a good distance back now. They are looking very much like the Red Bull of the last few years, of very much big three, but a distant third. Renault now on 100 points, and the bottom three remain locked in. Alright, so 1-2 for Red Bull. Vettel finishes third after starting on pole. Bottas gets fourth. Hamilton outside of the points, down in 11th place after a 4-stop race for him. Sainz uses a 2-stopper to finish 8th. Magnussen grabs 1 point for Haas. And I finish behind Leclerc, as always. 1 lap down, as always. But I had a faster lap than Leclerc by nearly 2 seconds. I started 18th, so Hartley had penalties. Magnussen had penalties. So I finished where I ended up starting. But Leclerc finished in just P17. I went with a 3-stopper. So not bad on that one. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. And remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe and tune in next time on my road to the record. Rivalry lost to Leclerc. That hurts. That should have been a clean race, though. I'm 3 points ahead on Sorokin. That's good. That is something. 50. Race bonus 56. Okay. That's not too bad. Rep doesn't rise. Come on, I finished in 18th. Dang it. Oh, that's because of the rivalry lost with Leclerc. So, it offset. Alright, that's it. Bye for now.